In her memoir, Lena Dunham wrote of a conservative man named Barry who assaulted her back in college. He resembles a real-life Barry who attended school at the same time and had absolutely nothing to do with Dunham's allegations. Dunham has apologized to the real-life Barry, but others have attacked her credibility, calling her narcissistic. This is what Red State writes this morning, quote, "The idea that there's any risk involved in a woman reporting a sexual assault is simply bullshit on a biscuit. Papers don't report the names of accusers. If there is any risk involved in today's sexual climate, it attaches firmly to the man. There is a definite element of Me Too-ism in her story. Whether her story actually happened outside of her fevered imagination is another question." Dunham, though, stands by her story. She writes on BuzzFeed, quote, "Survivors have the right to tell their stories, to take back control after the ultimate loss of control. There is no right way to survive rape, and there is no right way to be a victim. What survivors need more than anything is to be supported, whether they choose to pursue a criminal investigation or to rebuild their world on their own terms." You can help by never defining a survivor by what has been taken away from her. You can help by saying, "I believe you." So let's talk about all this with our next guest. Her name is Susan Patton. She's the author of Mary Smart and Princeton Mom. Susan, welcome.
Thank you, Carol. Nice to be here.
We even had an interesting conversation in the break,
Yes,
right?
we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
You said that you can't believe that rape could be a difficult thing to talk about. Why do you say that?
Well, obviously, any discussion about sex is a little bit difficult. It's a topic that requires delicacy and sensitivity, obviously. But the issue of rape here has become, well, firstly, we're talking about nothing but rape on campus, it seems like, for the last several weeks or months. But I think what makes this conversation so particularly prickly is the definition of rape. It no longer is when a woman is violated at the point of a gun or knife. We're now talking about or identifying as rape what really is a clumsy hookup melodrama or a fumbled attempt at a kiss or a caress.
How could that possibly? All it is?
In many cases, that's what it is. And we just heard the statistics that this is with a friend, this is in your own home, this is...
Most rapes happen between people who know each other.
Well, then it makes one
whether you're
wonder,
on campus or not.
No, I understand. Well, then again, it makes one wonder, why do you not just get up and leave? Or why do you not, as a woman, tell a man who's making advances that you're not comfortable with, you know what, stop, leave, stop and leave.
Have you ever talked to a rape victim?
Oh yeah, of course.
And what did she tell you?
That they're so frazzled and they didn't want him to be mad at her and they didn't want to lose his affection and she really wanted him to take
And what
it to
did you
the
think
prom.
about her when she told you those things?
And I thought, well, there's rape and then there's rape. And it's troubling to me.
So you didn't believe her?
Well, I believe that she experienced something that she regretted. I believe that she got very drunk and had sex with a man that she regretted the next morning. To me, that's not a crime. That's not rape. That's a learning experience. That's a learning experience that has to do with making choices and taking responsibility for the choices you make. And I also...
So let me get this straight. If your daughter gets horribly drunk, then if a man takes advantage of her sexually, and she's passed out drunk, she doesn't know what's happening, she deserves it somehow? Because it's a growing up experience?
No, of course not. I'm not talking about a woman who is blacked out drunk, but I am most certainly suggesting that women be smart for themselves, remain sober enough to extricate themselves from a situation that's headed in a direction that they're not comfortable with.
Let me run this by you because I've talked to many rape victims.
Okay.
And it's terribly difficult for them to share their experiences. It's very painful because you've been violated in a very personal way.
I don't doubt that for a minute, Carol. I'm not blaming victims. I'm not blaming
well, let me run this
victims.
by you. I've also talked to rape counselors, many of them, like Bobby Vero. She works out of Dallas, Texas. She said, rape is the only crime in which we turn the lens onto the survivor, the victim, and not onto the perpetrator. When someone gets shot, we don't ever ask them, why didn't you get away from that bullet?
Well, firstly, I disagree with what you're saying. At this point,
but
the
why
laws...
is that?
Well, because the laws have now been modified that if a young man is accused of rape...
If I'm drunk
he's
stumbling
labeled
down the street and someone shoots me,
he's
nobody blames me.
He's labeled a rapist without even due process. So to say that that all the light is being shown on victims...
Who's labeled a rapist without due process?
Any young man now on any college campus who is accused of having sexually assaulted a woman starts from the position of being guilty until they can prove their own innocence. This is the new way of thinking.
So
This
how is that different from someone committing a robbery?
You're not presumed guilty until you're found guilty.
That's right. You're not presumed guilty until you're in a court of law. Like, who determines this young man is guilty?
A court of law.
Right.
But the politically correct thinking at this point, fueled by the antagonistic feminists, is that even if there's a whiff of assault, a man is guilty. Guilty, 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 and it's up to him to prove his own innocence. And this is in stark contrast. It's completely inconsistent with the basic fundamentals of the American judicial system.
Let's turn it around. What about the young men in these cases? Are they all innocent?
Of course not. We're not talking in absolutes.
No, are they?
We're not talking in absolutes.
Why aren't you talking about them?
Talking about teaching men not
boys.
to rape.
Yeah.
Okay. We could teach burglars not to steal, but better advice, lock your door. That's smarter advice. You have to take some basic precautionary measures to make sure you're not going to be victimized either personally or in terms of your property. And I'm telling young women, you have to be smart for yourselves. Don't allow yourself.
Don't you see that's victim blaming?
It's
Let me
not
give
blaming.
you another example. Michelle
No.
Knight, she was kidnapped in Cleveland, right? There were rape counselors who told me that people blamed her for that.
Well, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that.
Who shouldn't have done it?
The rape counselors shouldn't have.
Well, they didn't blame Michelle Knight, but
people
others
that-
did for simply walking down the street and getting kidnapped and trusting this man who said she had a
clearly-
puppy in the back seat of her
Well,
car.
but clearly that was a situation where a woman was the victim of a violent crime. But so much of what's being reported today, and
She trusted a stranger.
But so much of what's being
I'm just
reported
saying,
today.
you could
Carol,
say the
come
same
on,
thing
look
of
at,
her.
Look at UVA, look at the Duke lacrosse team, look at Dartmouth, and go back to Tawana Brawley. There are times when women will say that they've been raped when in fact
That's right,
they
but let's
haven't
put that
been.
in perspective.
Go ahead.
4.9%, this is according to a U.S. Justice Department, 4.9% of women file false rape allegations.
I read
The rest,
8.3% this
it's
morning.
4.9.
Okay, I read
That's what it
8.3,
is.
but whatever it is,
It's
there shouldn't-
very low.
There shouldn't be any. You're saying one
Well,
in
of
five?
course not. But the
There
world
shouldn't
ain't
be any.
perfect.
The world ain't perfect, and women shouldn't get raped, obviously. And I'm not blaming victims, but when women accuse men of rape, when in fact it was sort of a fumbled attempt at, oh God, when they have what I call regrettable sex, mistake sex.
Yeah, but you're generalizing. You're
well,
accusing.
so are you. So
no,
are
I'm
you.
not.
So
Oh,
are
no, I'm
you.
not. I'm listening to the woman in question.
Well-
And I've got to listen to the man in question. But I'm not sitting here generalizing that all of these sexual assaults that are happening on campus is because some dumb woman
I'm
got
not generalizing.
really drunk. Yeah,
I'm not.
you are.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that women have to be smarter for themselves. One, they have to protect themselves better, and the best way to do that is to remain sober. Two,
So
they
it's
need to.
up to us to protect ourselves against rape. And how drunk do you get? Is one drink make
You
you
have,
drunk
to know, you
enough
have to know your own limit, and if you don't know your own limit, smart move, don't drink. You have to take some responsibility for your own safety. How could anybody, Carol, how could anybody think that it's a smart idea to leave your safety up to anybody else? It's not. It's your responsibility to keep yourself safe. If you are the victim of a violent crime,
it would
you
be
have to
great.
go to the police.
You know,
and women don't
another
do
rape
that.
counselor told me this.
You have to go to the
It would be
police.
great if we could sit here and say, if I did this, I would never be raped. If I did that, I would
There
never
are
be
no
raped.
absolutes.
That's
There's
right.
no-
there
there are
are
no
no
absolutes.
absolutes.
I understand
there
that.
aren't any.
I understand that, but we can do
But
certain
you
things to
understand
help
when you
ourselves.
say things like that those women who are attacked might feel worse because there's something they might have done to protect themselves, when in actuality, sometimes there's nothing.
Sometimes there's nothing. Frequently, because we know that the huge preponderance of these cases of sexual assault happen under drug or alcohol haze. So yeah, is there something you could do to help yourself? Yes. Don't allow yourself to get so drunk or so stoned that you can't make a good judgment.
Well, Susan, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree, but I will say, if I ever thought that something ugly happened to me, I don't know that I'd come to you.
Well, you probably could come to me because I'm a sympathetic ear. But first, I would tell you, be smarter next time, exercise more self-control next time, use better judgment next time in how you choose your friends in
And you
terms
then
of
want
where
me to
you
go to the police and like file charges
And
after
I'll tell
you
you
said
why.
that to me?
And I'll tell you why I want you to go to the police. If you were raped, You have to let the
After
police
you said
know.
that to me, I ain't going to the police. Are you kidding?
Grow up. Why wouldn't you go to the police? You were attacked. You're a victim of violent crime.
You
go
just
to the
said it was
police.
partially my fault because I was drunk.
I didn't say it was your fault. I said you could have prevented it.
Okay.
I said there are ways you could have prevented it. But if you're a victim of a violent crime, you go to the police because that's the responsible thing to do to get a rapist off the street. But the problem, of course, is if you were so drunk or so stoned, you can't even provide reliable testimony, which is another
I
reason
will
why
say,
you have to
having talked to
maintain
many
sobriety.
rape victims, it's not as easy as that. But thank you
Nothing
so
is.
much for sharing.